Chapter 33. The 14th Worm. "But how could Ellen and Joe know all those medical words, Mr. Forrester?" said Tom. "Rumbricus coreopsis? Fulmar?" "Do you know what fulmar really means?" Tom and Billy shook their heads. "It means a bird, a seabird, I think." "Boy," said Billy, disgusted. He sat back down at the table and picked up his sandwich. "They could be arrested, Mr. Forrester," said Tom. "Couldn't they be arrested for defrauding the mails? Couldn't they?" Billy grinned and bit down on the peanut butter and fried worm sandwich. Chapter 34. The 15th. Standing on a rusty pail, Billy peered through a crack into the horse barn. Joe was wandering about, lashing at cobwebs with a stick. Ellen was slumped on a barrel, gnawing his thumbnail. Billy went around to the door. "Hi," he said. Ellen didn't look up. "Hi," said Joe. Billy glanced around suspiciously. "Take it easy," said Joe. "We concede. At least I do." He's still trying to think up something. He pointed at Ellen with the stick. "Where's Tom?" said Billy. "He wouldn't eat his lunch, so his mother kept him in." Billy leaned over the platter on the orange crate and smelled the steaming southern fried worm. "He wanted it loaded with the red pepper," said Joe, "but I wouldn't let him." Billy forked ketchup, mustard, and piccalilli onto the platter, cut a piece of worm, dipped it in the globe, stuck it in his mouth, chewed nervously, swallowed, cut another piece. The worm tasted better than usual, sort of like kidney beans, southern fried kidney beans. "Where'd you get this one?" "Down behind the Bannermans," said Joe. "From the muck!" yelled Ellen. "The muck! Gooey, slimy, stagnant muck!" Billy grinned. "Yeah, you'll have to show me. This is the best one yet." Ellen jumped up and kicked the barrel clattering into a stall. Joe shrugged at Billy, grinning. Billy held up the last bite. "Ta-ra!" He swallowed it. "Okay, let me look," said Ellen. "Come on." He peered into Billy's mouth. "Oh no, come on, there's some still stuck between your teeth there." Billy sucked noisily at his teeth. "Okay?" Ellen's shoulders slumped. "I can't get the money till tomorrow," he said. "Oh, geez, you know I'll have to work Saturdays for 6 months to pay it back." He trudged slowly toward the door. "Come in, Joe?" "Yeah, maybe your father won't act so bad if I'm there when you tell him." Ellen stopped in the door. "Tomorrow?" he said without turning. 10 o'clock? He sounded as if he was going to cry. "Yeah, sure," said Billy. "Make it later if you want." "Nah, it's not going to do any good putting it off. Come on, Joe." Chapter 35. Burp. Left alone in the barn, Billy hugged himself. I won! $50! Ha ha!" He sat down on the crate, grinning. "Heck, I knew I could do it. Huh, I was so scared at first, waking everybody up in the middle of the night." He burped. Beans. "I should have made 30 worms and $100. The stupid letter." Joe knew when he was licked, though. Huh, geez. Beans? He stood up. How come that burp had a taste like beans? He'd had a hamburger for lunch and a glass of milk, then the worm. Say they couldn't have? He snatched up the platter. Nothing left, just a few crumbs of cornmeal. Craning his neck, his eyes bugging out, straining, he burped. Beans. Again, beans. He burst out of the barn, stumbling over the sill, yelling. Across the field, Joe and Ellen turned. Ellen started to run. Joe grabbed his arm. "It was a fake," panted Billy, coming up to them. "You faked it. It wasn't a real worm." "Real worm," said Joe. "What were you talking about?" "You made a worm," yelled Billy. "Out of beans. Then tomorrow you were going to say I'd lost. I hadn't eaten a 15th worm. The last one was fake." "Oh, geez," said Ellen. "Come on, will ya?" "He didn't do it while I was around," said Joe. "You sure? What do you have for lunch?" "A hamburger and milk." "Yeah, but where do you get the hamburger?" "I don't know. My mother bought it." "What difference does that make?" "Yeah, well, a lot of the hamburger you get these days has stuff mixed in it. You know, sausage meat, soybeans, breadcrumbs, so the butcher makes more money. Yeah, said Billy. Sure, but anyway, you come on back, just to make sure I'm going to eat another worm. Geez, suit yourself, eat 4 more. Come on, Alan, let's go. Let him eat what he wants. Chapter 36. The 15th Worm. Billy threw back his head, lowered the worm. Alan charged around the door, leaped on Billy's back, flung him to the ground, punching, yelling, jumped up, grabbed Billy's feet, dragged him bum across the rough, chaffy floor to the tool closet, bundled him inside, slammed the door, locked it. Silence, water trickling into the trough outside, Alan panting. What are you going to do with him? Joe asked hoarsely from the doorway. If he's in the closet, he can't eat the worm, can he? You're crazy. He'll start to yell. His parents will hear him. Yeah? Alan's hair was mussed. His shirt tail hung out. Yeah, said Joe, eyeing him. He will. He'll start to yell and his parents will hear him. Alan glanced widely about, started toward the door, turned. Not if we put him down the cistern. The cistern? Joe wiped his mouth. Alan cut it out. It's only $50. Come on, face it. You've lost. You can't put Billy down in that cistern all by himself. Suppose there's water in it. It's 15 feet deep. We can lower him down with a rope. Bang, 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 bang. Billy was kicking the tool closet door. Let me out. Help. Let me out. It's cheating. Help. I want to get out. I want to get out. I want to get out. Bang, 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 bang. He chanted rhythmically, kicking the door with both feet in time with his chant. Alan ran across the barn and, grabbing hold of a beam, skidding to a stop, began to kick aside the hay and trash which littered the planks over the old cistern. Bang, 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 bang. I want to get out. I want to get out. I want to get out. Come on, Alan yelled at Joe. Help me. We were all down in his last year. How's it gonna hurt him? Come on. It'll work. I'll split with you. Get some rope. Bang, 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 bang. I want to get out. Chapter 37. Out of the frying pan into the oven. On his knees, yanking at the planks which covered the old cisterns, thinking, I've got him. I win. He will never. Alan felt a hand grip his shoulder, glanced up. What the devil is going on in here? Mr. Forrester shouted down at him. Bang, 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 bang. I wanna. A confused bubble of voices dying out suddenly. Now, said Mr. Forrester, Alan and Joe, home, scoot. Alan and Joe crowded out the door. I've won, crowed Billy. He danced toward the platter. Nothing can. Billy, up to your room. I just got to eat this worm, Dad. Ho, ho. I've won. Billy, up to your room. Dad, his father pointed. Dad, if I don't eat what's left, I'll lose. Alan will. It's just 2. Now, the bet is over. You know what I've told you about the cistern. Now. Dad, I'll lose. Alan will. Then you will learn something. March. You mean I can't even eat that last little bit? How long could it take me? What could? Billy, now. Chapter 38. Billy kicked the bat. He'd won. All he'd had to do was eat 2 more bites. 2 bites. He kicked the worm. What his father gotten so mad for? Alan had started opening the cistern, not him. Geez, he hadn't even let him explain. Twice he'd won, and then something had happened. And now he was going to lose. After all he'd gone through. Nightmares, fights, thinking he'd been poisoned, all for nothing. He kicked the bat. Chapter 39. The United States Cavalry rides over the hilltop. Mrs. Forrester, said Tom, peering through the screen door. Could I see Billy for a minute? He's up in his room being punished, Tom. He and Joe and Alan were very naughty this afternoon. Yeah, said Tom. No kidding? What do they do? Chapter 40. The 15th Worm. Billy kicked the wall again. 2 minutes. What difference could 2 minutes have made? He leaned his forehead against the window pane, gazing dejectedly out into the backyard. That's what always happened. Somebody. Tom's younger brother, Pete, appeared suddenly around the corner of the house, running, holding up a little yellow Easter basket, gesturing. The worm, Tom. Pete had brought him a worm, the 15th worm. Billy slammed up the window. Catch! Yelled Pete. Hurry, Tom's talking to your mother. He heaved the brick with a string tied to it up to Billy. Billy caught it, hauled the string up hand over hand. The basket came bobbing up the side of the house. Ellen and Joe plunged out of the bushes. Billy snatched the tin can out of the Easter basket, plucked out a huge, squirming nightcrawler. Mrs. Forrester! Mrs. Forrester! Ellen and Joe shouted at the top of their lungs, dancing about on the lawn, waving their arms. Mrs. Forrester! Mrs. Forrester! Too late! Yelled Billy, gleefully. Throwing back his head, he dropped the squirming nightcrawler into his mouth, chewed and chewed. Tom and Mrs. Forrester peered around the corner of the house. Too late! Billy yelled, still chewing. Too late! I win! He disappeared from the window. A door slammed inside the house. A trampling on the stairs. He burst out the kitchen door. A flying leap of back steps. He rolled, scrambled up, yelling, I win! I win! I win! Grabbed Tom's hand. They danced round and round and round, Pete cowering beside them. Joe and Ellen slunk off through the bushes. Round and round and round. Billy's mother laughed and went into the kitchen. Round and round and round, till they collapsed on their backs in the grass. I win, gasped Billy to the blue, cloudless sky. I win. Chapter 41. Epilogue. Billy leaned the mini bike against a tree and started down the path through the woods. Tom and Joe were already sitting by the smoldering trash fire on the riverbank, opening their lunch bags. Where's Alan? At the store? Asked Billy, flopping down by Tom. Yeah, said Joe. He's still got 2 weeks to go. What have you got for lunch? Asked Tom. Billy looked embarrassed. Worm and egg on rye. Heck, said Tom. Why can't you ever bring something somebody else likes so you can trade? Billy frowned. He opened his lunch bag. I don't know. I just can't stop. I don't dare tell my mother. I even like the taste now. He scratched his head. Do you think there's something the doctor don't know? Do you think I could be the first person who's ever been hooked on worms?